Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's crazy to think that December is almost over. For me, tomorrow is Christmas Day, so I want to personally, from my family to yours, wish you guys a Merry Christmas. And if you're watching this after the New Year, Happy New Year. So today what we got going on is Tesla released their 2026 holiday update, and I love this stuff, man. It's been a lot of fun. Me and my son been enjoying it. We spent like 30, 40 minutes in the car the other day running through all of the features. So I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but we are going to run through all the release notes, all of the hidden changes that weren't covered in the release notes, so stay tuned to the end for that. And we're gonna go ahead and just jump right in. All right, so first things first, we're gonna go ahead and go to release notes. And the first one is Grok with navigation. So the cool thing about this is Grok can now string together commands. So to give you an example of that, we're gonna go ahead and put up Grok, and you can either do it through the interface and hit Grok, or just hold the little command button on your steering wheel. So we'll do that. Hey Grok, what's the best pizza spot to eat around here?
Fellini Pizzeria on Broad Street in Cranston is just zero point 0.3 miles away.
All right, perfect. Fellini is actually what I was looking for. I love that place. Let's go there. I still need to do some late Christmas shopping. Take me to a mall, and then after that, we're going to go home.
Navigating to Fellini Pizzeria first, then Garden City Centre for shopping. It's 3.4 miles away and open till 6.
All right, perfect. Thank you. So that's actually pretty cool. Fellini's is a great spot around here to eat at. So if you guys are in the neighborhood, you can eat there. Warwick Mall is perfect. That's one of the bigger malls that we have here in Rhode Island. And then obviously taking me home right after that. So there's stuff like that you can do. You can ask Grok a couple other questions too. So that's a really cool feature. If you guys kind of like in an area you don't know what to do, you can kind of look up at a spot what to eat at and tell it to take you right there. Now the next one is the Tesla photo booth. Again, a lot of people brush this off, but me, I have a 5-year-old son, and we were in here messing with this for like 30 minutes. I think it's a really cool feature that they added. So if you guys have kids, definitely take a look at it. It's under the toy box. Head over to photo booth, strike a pose, and honestly, it uses your interior camera here. And me and my son had a blast. I'm not gonna go through a lot of this stuff here. I'll show you a quick clip of when me and my son was in here, but pretty much it has a bunch of different presets you can choose from. And you can go ahead, do that, take the picture. It'll count down from 3, 2, 1. And then once you do that, there's a whole bunch of other things you can do with it. So I'll link the clip that I use here, and it was a lot of fun and we enjoyed that as well. So we're gonna head back to the release notes. Next on the list is dog mode live activity. What's pretty cool is you can get a glimpse of what's going on in your car while your pet is in here. I'm shopping around and doing whatever it is that you guys are doing, running errands. Before you weren't able to do that, or you could, but you had to go into the app, click on it, and look at your cameras. Now you can have a little widget on your iPhone and you can kind of see what's going on at all times, which is pretty cool because if you see that something's happening, you can kind of rush back and take care of your pet, which is pretty awesome. So for those of you who love pets and have pets, welcome feature there for sure. Next is dash cam viewer update, and what's pretty cool is now you have a little widget in your dash cam footage, and it'll show you your miles per hour when you're turning your steering wheel left or right, your gas acceleration, your brakes, your FSD, if it's on or off. Like all of that input is in there now, and I think Tesla added this to cover their own butt, because if something ever were to happen, they can ask for the footage if they try to blame it on FSD, and they can really know if FSD was enabled, and if it was, if there was any user input that caused that crash or something harmful to happen, and they can kind of look at that footage and interpret it, a lot better what's going on. So for anyone who loves that type of stuff and love to view your camera stuff, all that is in there now. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at that. So we're gonna go to dash cam, and I don't know if I have any footage of it, but once it opens up, we'll take a look. So right here you can see 36 miles an hour. FSD is on. It says self-driving, and you can kind of see the steering wheel turning up there, and it's actually pretty cool. You're only gonna see your brake and all the, I think, the acceleration if you're actually stepping on it, not when FSD is enabled. So that was me probably pressing on it just to go a little bit faster, because when it was braking, like right here, you don't see any of the icons light up there. So again, really cool feature for you guys. I think another hidden feature that I'll talk about now, since I'm already in here, there is different categories up here that I didn't notice that was here before. There's like handle pull, panic, manual save, honk. I don't remember seeing that there. Again, if this stuff matters to you and you kind of want to look at all of this stuff, it will do all of that for you now. So next on the list is Santa mode. And again, another feature that my son loves, and me personally, I love it. Like the holiday spirit, I love like this time of year. So like just to have that festive stuff in the car is pretty cool. So to give you an example of what Santa mode looks like, we're just gonna go ahead and open up the toy box, and we're gonna go down to Santa. Also, one thing I noticed is that they don't have Santa Claus this year. It's like the Mr. Santa robot or the Tesla robot. You know, I wish they gave you the option to choose one or the other, but this is what it looks like in Santa mode. You can either hit jingle all the way or say ho 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 with Grok, I assume, and that'll turn it on. And then spread the cheer jingle outside. Don't turn that on if you don't want, you know, everyone outside to hear, you know, the song that's gonna play. I forget the name of the Christmas song, but once I turn that on, it is gonna play. So I'm just gonna cut to right after the music stops, so that way I don't get hit with the copyright strike. So we'll turn that on now. All right, so the music just stopped, and this is Santa mode right here. As you can see, you got the Tesla robot, some reindeers, Frosty the Snowman, and a Christmas tree, which is actually pretty cool. Now, one thing I also noticed while you're driving around is that there's a lot of like different little, like, I don't know if they're Easter eggs or not, but you can kind of see stop signs and different speed limits with like snow on them, and like everything just looks so festive. And obviously, while you're driving around, the sleigh is gonna be in place of the car icon, which is actually pretty dope. So again, something cool that they do for the holidays. You can see it's kind of snowing. And also one thing I noticed too, that if we get out of Santa mode, it stays snowing just for a little bit. I wish that you can just choose this and stay there, so that way you can kind of have like a little bit of a festive vibe and kind of keep your car if you wanted to, but it does end up going away after a while and once you start driving. So now we're gonna go ahead and go back to the release notes here. All right, back in the release notes, and actually one thing I did forget before we move on to the light show is that there is a new lock chime for this as well. So once you leave, you kind of get that festive vibe. I'll leave a clip on it here so that way you guys can hear it too. But the next thing on the list is light show. There is a new one. I'm gonna show you guys at the end of it as well what that looks like, but for now we're gonna skip it and we're gonna go to paint shop. So we're gonna go ahead and open up the toy box here. And again, my son went crazy here. He had a lot of fun with this stuff, and what's pretty cool is that I feel like these updates also are for kids. Like they kind of tailor it for them just as much as for us. So like if you have them, let them run wild, have a lot of fun with them. It's a pretty cool experience to see what they can come up with and stuff like that. So once you have that open, head over to the wrap. And one thing I noticed that once you start clicking on them, the front to back animation that it does is actually pretty cool. And we are going to keep things a little bit festive. We're just going to go ahead and add the reef with some lights on the car, and you already know we're going to tint it to 100%. And honestly, I can't do that here because I will get pulled over immediately, but it is cool to see the car wrapped just like that. So that's what that looks like. And actually for the wraps, if you scroll all the way down, it brings you to a GitHub page, and you can go ahead and run wild with your imagination, create your own if you like. But for right now, we're gonna go ahead and keep it simple there. One thing that we can do is license plate. We're gonna go ahead and add Northeast EV. I cannot spell it out because it is too long here, but go check out my channel, watch a couple videos if you haven't already, and you can also change the background here with a couple of the presets, and you can also create your own as well, which is pretty cool. So for now, we'll probably leave again this little festive one here, keep it all Christmas vibes as you know it, and then you're pretty much all set. Once you look at your car, it pretty much has everything, and you can kind of see the Northeast EV there. I know the background obviously isn't as great with that color there for the text, but go ahead, make your imagination run wild. Go ahead and create whatever it is that your heart desires, which is pretty cool. All right, back in release notes, we're winding down here. We're gonna go to navigation improvements. I don't think I have any right now, but right here it'll show you different suggestions of places that you guys go all the time depending on where you have your car parked. So at home, my job would pop up here, and a couple of the stores that we go to like Target and stuff like that. Again, I'll leave the clip so you guys can see what that looks like. So as you start to drive, the car gets to know those locations, and it'll start to give you suggestions, which is actually a welcome feature that I love, because sometimes I don't want to have to type something in. But speaking of that as well, you can actually start to see your favorite locations on the map. I don't think that was there before. So like if you're in the area and you kind of see a little star, those are your locations that you starred. Me personally, I have my parents' house, and then I also have, you know, my church and stuff like that. But that is a pretty cool feature that they added there. So moving on. Next on the list is automatic HOV lanes. And again, I don't have any here in Rhode Island, but when I'm up in Mass going to the airport, you know, TF Green, I'm sorry, Logan, you can use that if you have 2 or more people in the car. So to give you an example of where that is, just go there, go to your navigation, and there is an option to use HOV lanes. But what's new is you can automatically turn that on, and your inside cabin will notice that there's 2 or more people in your car, and it will take that HOV lane, which is actually pretty cool. Me personally, I am going to leave that off because I don't use it at all ever. But for you guys that are, you know, in the Northeast area or anywhere that uses HOV lanes, you know, turn it on. That's actually pretty cool because it's kind of mindless. If you have FSD on, it'll jump right into that HOV lane and you don't have to worry about it. So now we're gonna head back to the release notes here, and we're at supercharger site maps. Again, this feature is pretty cool. I don't use any superchargers. I charge at home 100% of the time. I haven't really taken a road trip. When I did first get my car, I probably used it twice. It's not free for me, but for the people who do and use superchargers all the time, this is pretty cool because before you even get there, you can see what cars are being charged in what location. You can see how many locations are available. It's not worldwide, or I should say nationwide, but there is certain states that have it. I'll try to link it below so you guys can see which ones is there. But, you know, let me know if you guys enjoy that feature there. I don't use supercharging enough to really say if I'm gonna like it or not. But for those of you who do, you know, let me know in the comments below. Now, moving on, phone left behind, another cool feature. I tested it the other day. I'll leave a clip as well. But when you get out of the car, whether you leave it on your charger or just anywhere in your car, you get a little notification saying, hey, you left it, you know, come back into the car and grab it. It's a little loud noise that you hear from the outside of the car. And then you have this here that pops up on your screen. So another welcome feature that's actually pretty cool. I rarely leave my phone in the car, but for the times that I ever will, it'll let me know. I can grab it and be on my way, which is dope. Now, save charge limit by location. Another cool one. I don't charge anywhere else but my home. For the people that do, again, you can go to charging, and right here it says set limit at this location. So I'm at my parents' house, I can set it to wherever I want. Or whenever I'm on road trips, I can set it to 100 and it'll charge to 100 whenever I'm not at home and anywhere, stuff like that. So, you know, let your imagination run wild. If you're over here charging left and right at different locations, set it, forget it, and then now your car knows exactly what to charge to what limit at each location, which is actually a welcome feature in my eyes. SpaceX docking simulator. I don't play it. I played it once and it was a little hard, but also I didn't really read the instructions that much. It is under arcade. It might have to install. I think mine did before I can hit begin training, but once you do that, you're pretty much trying to dock your space station into the little dock there, and it is a pretty sophisticated game. I don't play it too much, but now this is what the game looks like. Again, you can kind of go ahead and try to dock it. I haven't read the instructions too much to really understand how to play it, so I'm not gonna go ahead and try to play it here. But one thing I did notice that is another hidden feature is they took away that boomerang game, and my son loved it. Me and him would play from time to time, so they must have been like a licensing issue. I wish they would keep that and maybe take away the SpaceX game, but it is what it is. If you guys enjoyed that boomerang game, it is no longer there, but SpaceX is here, so go ahead and try that out if you guys are interested as well. All right, and then moving on, we're at FSD supervised 14.2.1.25. Me personally, the only difference that I noticed, my church is about an hour away, and in one of those routes on the highway, it changes the speed limit from 65 to 45. And over the last couple of weeks, whenever I'm on FSD on that road, if I'm hitting like 75 on the highway, it immediately like starts to brake and go down really slow. So that was annoying. I ended up just canceling FSD while I was on that road and then turning it back on. But now with this new update, it doesn't do that anymore. It kind of keeps the speed that's around me as I'm driving, which is now a welcome feature for me. The only thing that's still not fixed is that in hurry mode, my FSD, every time it tries to change lanes, it still stutters. Let me know if you guys have that issue, but like I can see it trying to turn and then it stops. And then, you know, a couple miles up the road, it might do it and then finally go. But in standard, like it's kind of like just switching left and right smoothly. In hurry, it does do that as well, but just from time to time, I still get that stutter. So it is annoying, but you know, again, I understand this is all still beta and we're still learning and stuff. So it's not perfect, but it's still phenomenal. Like for anyone who has FSD, you guys already know how great of a feature that is. So moving on, actually, that might be everything here. All of this stuff is related to FSD. So before we get to the hidden stuff, there's only a couple, but right here under minor notes, you can see that enable or disable wireless phone charging is now an option, which is pretty dope. I do not like this wireless charging pad. It makes my iPhone super hot and it charges really slow, which is why I bought my own charger. I'll go ahead and link that below of what I use. I actually just bought another one, so stay tuned for that because this one's actually pretty dope. I haven't seen anybody with it. I think it looks great visually and it's a fast charger as well. So stay tuned for that video because that is coming. But to go ahead and turn off the wireless charging pad like I did is just go to charging and scroll down a little bit and you can see wireless phone charging pad is set to off. So now you can set your phone here or anything that wirelessly charges and now it will not charge, which is actually pretty cool. Another thing is your vehicle will now send a mobile alert if your cabin door is left open while dog mode is active. I wasn't sure if that was a thing, but obviously that looks like it wasn't, so that is welcome for you dog lovers. Add Spotify tracks to your queue right from your search screen. I don't have Spotify, so that doesn't I never really knew that was a feature. Next is add Spotify tracks to your queue right from your home screen or search screen. Again, I don't use Spotify, so that doesn't relate to me. But for you Spotify lovers, that's probably a welcome feature. Scroll through large Spotify playlists, album, podcasts, audiobooks, and libraries seamlessly without paging, which sounds pretty cool for you Spotify lovers. Next, we have lock sound now includes the light cycle from Tron mode. And actually that sound was pretty cool. I liked it. I just didn't like to have Tron mode on just to hear it. So now to be able to do that and not have to turn on Tron mode is a welcome feature. So for those of you who love that sound, don't like Tron mode, turn that on and now you get the best of both worlds, right? And it says allow vehicle to share charging data with Tesla to support features like charging stats in the Tesla app. So that is all of the minor updates and all of the major updates from this app here. There's a couple different hidden ones that I'll go ahead and go over really quickly with you guys before we start the wrap up here. All right, so one of the new hidden features that I noticed is car wash mode. I wash my car all of the time and this is a welcome new user interface for me. So I don't wash my car anywhere else but my home. So just to see something new is pretty cool. But not only that, for those of you who do wash your car anywhere else or in drive-thrus and stuff like that, you'll get a notification saying, hey, do you want me to turn on car wash mode? We noticed that you're in a car wash. So that is a pretty cool thing. I'll try to get the little notification if I drive by one just to kind of show you. But I did read about that does that. So that is a welcome feature for those of us who love to wash the cars. Now, the only other one that I noticed is dash cam view, and that was under display. I'm sorry, not under display, under safety. And when you scroll down, you can see the storage now of your dash cam. That wasn't there before. You can delete your clips and all of that stuff and format the USB if you have one. The USB for that would be in your glove box when you put it in there to extend your storage. But just to see the storage that you have there is a welcome feature as well. A lot of the other hidden stuff that I talked about, or that I was going to talk about at the end, since I was already in those places, I talked about it during the video. So I only have those two for you. But if you stayed till the end, I appreciate you guys for watching my videos. We're on our way to 500 subs, which is crazy. I've been doing this for 2 months and I didn't expect it to grow that fast. I know a lot of people grow faster than that, you know, but I'm welcome for all of you guys who stay tuned and watch these videos till the end. So thank you guys for all of that. Now, that pretty much wraps up today's video. I just want to say from my family to yours, you know, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Again, thank you guys for everything that you do for the channel. All of the stuff that I bought this holiday season, I'll link it below. Help the channel out. If you guys buy something, for sure, let me know. Let me know what your favorite holiday feature is in the comments below. Let me know what you love about this. Let me know what you hate about it. Let me know what you're looking forward to. So again, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, guys. Take care, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.